suffer while he just fucking went on tour with his band and then went to New Zealand. Like, you can make him pay for those things, and instead you just completely cower in fear of Sandoval and go right back into his graces. Like, that's the most frustrating thing. We can say that we agree with the friendship of it all. Yeah, you're gonna stick by your boy after whatever just happened. I don't care. Friendship is above everything else. But you see what he did to you in the last year, and you're not making him repent for that. Like, that's insane.
I agree, and this actually takes us right into like the Lala and Schwartz talk that we saw at the party, and there's a few things I want to touch on here. I mean, we've already discussed a little bit of Schwartz being that middle person between Sandoval and everybody else in the group, as we knew he would be. I'm surprised again that we're getting to this so quickly, and it's because we have to go to Tahoe and we need there to be some peace in the group so that we can all go to Tahoe. So I get it. But I want to talk about the Ariana comments, because we saw in the previous episode when Schwartz presented to the group about Tahoe and Ariana kind of clapped back at him, and the group was giving him advice, strong advice on what he should be doing to get his life together. And that is to pull away from Sandoval. Lala's singing a very different tune now, where she is, I don't want to live my life angry, and I don't want to harbor all these feelings and either be yelling at somebody or curled up in the fetal position, which I can appreciate. And nobody should live their life like that. So if she is trying to grow and let things go, like, I think that is a good move for Lala, and probably something she's needed to do for a long time. I think that we'd have a very different Lala without the anger coming out randomly when she gets fired up and then she claps back at somebody. I think that that's a Lala we would all appreciate, because she does offer a lot to this show when she's doing well. So I do look forward to that. But, and this also goes to that comment we've seen in the trailer a bunch of times, where it's like she gets cheated on, she becomes God. Now, in this scene last week, when Ariana was talking to Schwartz, did you get a vibe that she feels like she's kind of above it or on a pedestal, or, as he said, like an ego or a queen kind of vibe? Or do you think that she is well within her right to have this stance because of what she's been through?
Ariana?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I just said I would stand by Jen Shaw, so everyone's already turned on me. So why not just, because my listeners are not like, David, speak up.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You feel about this.
This is a collab episode. We need to hear your takes too.
I said in the beginning, way back, that I think that eventually everyone is going to turn on Ariana. I think that is happening now. I do think that, I think that it has gone to her head. I understand, like, I want to create generational wealth for my family, and like, I better just work. I could appreciate all of that. Like, this is going to go away. You're not always going to be on Dancing with the Stars and Moxie Hart on Broadway and all these deals. It's why I thought she wasn't going to come back this season. It's why I think she may not come back next season. I think she's outgrown the show, but I do think that it has gone to her head. Yes. I don't think that Steele is like, really? I don't really get it. Like, everyone's cheated on. Yes, this guy's a scumbag. I get it. I just think, take all your opportunities, but I think it's gone to her head. Yeah, I do.
I think you can say that too as well with the pool party, where they're all discussing things in the pool, and Scheana and Lala are talking about how they went to LVPs to discuss Sandoval, and immediately Ariana's telling everybody else how they should feel. That's, I feel like, the line that was crossed. If she's sitting back and she's saying, look, I don't want to be in the same room with him. I don't want to be anywhere near him. I have this feeling of, I don't want to be friends with Schwartz because I know that he's just going to be with Sandoval no matter what. And at the end of the day, that's what Schwartz is going to try to do, because I've thought about it. Schwartz is going to sit down with Ariana, if they were to ever get cool again, and say, hey, you need to have a discussion with Tom. Like, that would happen 1,000%. So no, she doesn't need to be friends with Schwartz, but she also doesn't need to tell Scheana and Lala who they can and can't forgive and who they can and can't talk to. So that's, I feel like, the line that's being crossed right there. I don't agree with what Schwartz said last week. I think that Schwartz should have probably just, used the back channels to invite people to Tahoe. Maybe don't sit down with an entire group of people with Ariana there and say, hey, let's all go to Tahoe. Sandoval's coming. Because nobody's going to give you a real answer. You can sit down with Lala and Scheana. You can sit down with Katie. Katie's obviously going to take Ariana's side, but you don't do that in the group setting. And then the way that he blows up, which Steele and I like to point this out all the time, you get to see the real Schwartz for like a brief second, where he actually loses his temper and he starts going off at people. And it's like, oh, you're not a big dumb idiot. You actually do have feelings. You are actually, showing some anger here and there. So there is a completely different side of you that we're not seeing on camera. So I don't agree with Schwartz last week, but I do think that Ariana is getting to that point where she's telling her friends what to do and what not to do. And that is a very dangerous game to play. So I could see them all turning on her.
Yeah. And when she's, like in that scene last week, which is the one you just referred to, where she's like, like, no one's talking to you. Like, just there is, and, he's like, you're not the queen of the group, or you're not my queen. Right. It's a little bit, I get it. You don't want this. I don't have anything to do with Schwartz. It's a little bit like you are, it's almost like you're playing the victim too much. You are the victim, but you're playing it up too much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just going to turn off people watching. It's going to turn a lot of people off. So it's just, I don't even know if it's like purposeful, but there is somewhat of an arrogance or like an overstepping. Take all your opportunities, outgrow the group. It's just like a little bit of an overstepping for me.
Yeah, and I think I agree with both of you. Sentiments are both there, where it's like, no, you don't have to be cool with Tom ever again. And no, you don't have to pretend that you're going to be. And no, you don't have to say nice things about him. And I get harboring resentment towards Schwartz because he knew that all of this was going on. Like, all of that makes sense to me. But when you have a scene such as the pool, when, Scheana is dropping some pretty deep shit. And yeah, we are all speculating because, we're trying to figure out whether this guy is manipulative in this moment or not, if he's using these kind of, I don't want to say trigger words because it is a serious thing, but is this a play in some way, shape, or form? Which, again, it sucks to even discuss because of what we're talking about. But regardless of all of that, when Scheana is delivering this information in the pool, Ariana doesn't even have a split second to hear it. Instead, she's like, nope, 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 and pointing at everybody like, nope, you're not falling for this. You're not falling for this. You guys aren't talking, blah, blah, blah. It's the firm stance she's taking rather than, maybe lightening up a little or just not chiming in the moment. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that there's a right or wrong thing to do, but in that moment,
walk away.
Something where it's not, it doesn't seem like you're combating against something that is so serious. You know what I mean? Like, that was a tough look, I thought.
And it's like, eventually, like if you're Scheana, I would be like, wait, I'm angry. Like Scheana has been with Tom Sandoval from the beginning. Like she has known him longer than she's known Ariana. Like, you know what I mean? So like eventually you would think she or Lala or anyone, but probably Scheana the most, would just get upset. Like, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Like, I'm not taking anything away from you. I'm not revealing anything, but like, this is just my friend who's going through whatever, and I want to be there for them. And that does not take anything away from you. Like, I don't really believe like, your enemy should be my enemies type of thing. Just in life.
I think
even with a situation like this.
Yeah. And I think that's a dangerous way to live. It's where, he scorned you, and obviously like right afterwards, and, the months where you're getting Ariana back on her feet. Yeah, totally. You can't be communicating with Sandoval on the side because you're there for Ariana to get her through this terrible thing that he's just done. So yeah, totally get that. But moving further away from it, we're 3, 4, 5 months separated from this whole thing. I don't think that it's realistic to say, because especially when you're on a TV show together, especially